The blockchain trilemma: security, decentralization, and scalability. Many blockchains have achieved one or two of these things, but no one has really achieved all three. Not yet, at least. But this blockchain company is certainly trying their best. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive on Monad, what it is, who the influencers and investors are behind this blockchain, what the architecture is, and the potential airdrop to come. At the end of this video, I'll be making some closing remarks to wrap it all up. If you enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button. Okay, so what is Monad? Monad is a high-performance Ethereum-compatible L1. Monad materially advances the efficient frontier in the trade-off between decentralization and scalability. Monad introduces optimizations in 4 major areas, resulting in a blockchain with throughput of 10,000 transactions per second. They do this by introducing something called Monad Byzantine fault tolerance. Let's look at that. MonadBFT is a high-performance consensus mechanism for achieving agreement about the transaction ordering under partially synchronous conditions in the presence of Byzantine actors. It is a derivative of HotStuff with the improvement proposed in Jolteon DiemBFT fast HotStuff, which is the reduction from 3 rounds to 2 rounds by utilizing quadratic communication complexity in the event of leader timeout. Now that is a lot of crypto jargon, and you might not have understood all of that, but that's okay. Basically what they're saying is they took the HotStuff algorithm, changed it, shaped it, and molded it into what it is today for the Monad blockchain. I did a little bit more research on the parallel execution that they were referencing in these documents, and I found this little tidbit. It said Monad is redesigning the EVM and building it from scratch. Now, again, this kind of goes back to my Hyperliquid video that I posted yesterday. They aren't really building this from scratch if they're taking the algorithm from HotStuff, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think it's something to really harp on, but I just wanted to point it out. Something else that I wanted to point out here is that out of the gate, they're going to have quite a bit of applications built on mainnet as soon as it launches. Applications that are built on Ethereum will have the opportunity to build here as well, but you'll be able to utilize all of these applications like Hardhat, Foundry, Phantom, MetaMask, Etherscan, and Dune on this blockchain as soon as it goes live. Now that's true about any EVM-compatible chain, but the fact that Phantom and MetaMask are already in this, providing that wallet for users, is a big deal. One of the things that, if you go to their website, you'll see speed without sacrifice, welcome to Monad. They have a very nice looking website. I have to say this. It's a very good looking website. The L1 blockchain with limitless potential, 10,000 transactions per second, near zero gas fees, 1 second block times, 1 second single slot finality with low hardware requirements. MonadDB allows you to store most of the state on SSD instead of RAM. This is important. This significantly reduces RAM requirements and reduces the cost of running a node. So let's take a look at the actual hardware requirements, guys. To run a validator, these are the requirements that you would need. You would need a CPU, a 16-core CPU, which is not that powerful, but it's about mid-grade nowadays. Memory, only 32 gigs of RAM. Again, that's like mid-grade RAM for just your standard PC these days. Storage, 2 terabyte NVMe SSD. Again, anybody can pick up one of these solid state drives nowadays for little to no cost. And then bandwidth, only 100 megs per second. That doesn't require a lot of bandwidth. If we go and look at Solana, for instance, to compare, you're looking at 512 gigs of RAM alone, which is incredibly expensive. On top of that, you need 4 SSDs for separate functions. The cost to run this type of node would be drastically lower on Monad. Next up, let's talk about the Monad Foundation, because this just came out 2 weeks ago. Today, December 16th, we are sharing an exciting organizational update signaling a next step in the evolution of the Monad blockchain, the Monad Foundation, an independent organization dedicated to encouraging the development and adoption of the Monad blockchain protocol. What is the Monad Foundation? The foundation's principal activity will be to facilitate validator-led governance and community-led improvement proposals, provide developer documentation relating to the network, and engage in ecosystem development, marketing, and advisory-related services for the Monad Foundation. Now, usually when you see something like this, it means that an airdrop is on the horizon. Anytime a foundation gets mentioned, it usually means that there is a TGE coming eventually. Now, with the mainnet launching sometime in 2025, we have to assume that the token or the coin associated with this L1 blockchain is probably going to be launching at the same time. A lot of buzz on Twitter is shaping up around the fact that this foundation was just formed. So definitely be on the lookout for some sort of airdrop coming from Monad. Next up, let's talk about some of the people that are involved in the investment behind this, because I think that this is very important talking about these people. Any project that I look at, I always want to see who's invested in it, because you don't want shady people and you don't want so much of the control run by the investors. So back in April of this year, Monad actually had a round led by Paradigm that raised $225 million in funding. So Paradigm, who you might know as launching the Blast L2, they launched Friendtech, they have done a number of things, right, in the crypto space. Not all of them good, not all of them bad either, though. But they also teamed up with a lot of really important investment firms and people. This is the interesting piece. People like Inversebra, Ansem, Hisaka, Luca Netz, the founder of Pudgy Penguins. All of these people are very important people in the space. Eric Wall. All of these people are pretty big on Twitter. These are like crypto Twitter influencers. And even Kobe was in on this. So they were able to raise over $225 million in this round from people like this. For instance, if you go to ThreadGuy's page on Twitter, you'll see Monad listed in his description. This guy is directly affiliated with them. And yet they don't even have a product yet. If you go to Monad's Twitter page, they have 374,000 followers already. So this just goes to show how well they're already marketing this blockchain. And guys, look, I'm a marketing guy, okay? That's my background. And so when I look at products, I look at how well they do their marketing as well, because half of the battle is having a good, solid product. The other half is marketing that product. If you have a solid product, but nobody knows about it, then you have nothing. It's meaningless. So the fact that they are already doing a phenomenal job of marketing their product before it's even released or even on testnet is amazing to me. Like just 4 hours ago, they posted NFTs on Monad. That's all they said. And yet they were able to get 2.3K likes on Twitter. This is amazing. So I have to give them props for their marketing in this. They've definitely linked up with a lot of crypto Twitter's biggest names, and they've pushed this out to the masses. So good on them for that. Okay, with all of that being said, though, what are my thoughts on this? And what's the time frame on this? Because nothing has actually been announced at this point saying that the test net is going to go live at this point and that the main net is going to go live at that point. If you go back and scroll through their timeline, you'll see that they initially wanted to launch at the end of this year. Well, the end of this year is in just a few days. And so I don't think that they're going to be launching their main net anytime soon. But if you look at some other people talking about the chain itself, like LFJ, who is the biggest decentralized exchange on Avalanche, has said, okay, so Monad is actually really fast on their timeline. So this goes to show that they're already giving people the opportunity, or bigger projects, I should say, the opportunity to play around with their network. So it's almost like a closed beta. Well, once they open this up to everybody, I think that's whenever you'll be able to start earning points or whatever back-end system they have for some sort of airdrop. And that's whenever I will be playing around with this to see what all of the fuss is about. Because I really do want to stress test this and see if it can achieve that 10,000 transactions per second. That's a very bold claim. And as of this moment, it's all just words, right? Because nobody has actually been able to test this for themselves on the open market. I've seen this story time and time again where teams make a lot of bold claims and they aren't able to back it up with real product. And so I really hope that this time they are right, that they've built something that truly can master the blockchain trilemma. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Again, if you enjoyed this video today, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, do me that solid and hit that sub button. That's going to be it for this one though. Thank you so much for watching. Capital Recon out.